Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
Because P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
Is Ashton Kutcher concealing something from us all? And why has Mila Kunis abruptly stopped talking about her husband after the shocking details of Diddy's criminal indictment surfaced? Ashton has been using his celebrity platform to promote TR, but now you're telling me that his wife recently moved out because of the upcoming developments in the Diddy case. Some shocking revelations may indicate a close relationship between Ashton and Diddy that no one anticipated, but did Ashton know more than he ever disclosed? Could Kunis be engaging in a risky game of exposure that could reveal Hollywood's most unsettling secrets? Our work has always supported victims, and it will going forward. After Diddy's recent legal troubles, Ashton Kutcher abruptly left the public eye. Rumors of a split between Ashton and Mila Kunis are circulating, and their relationship to Diddy is raising eyebrows. The web between Ashton and Diddy is full of mystery, and today we're dissecting everything we know about Ashton's involvement in Diddy's secret world. But it doesn't stop there because the FBI is now involved, you said. It appears that everything Ashton Kutcher touches is being scrutinized these days, but what we're about to reveal may surprise even his most devoted fans. Did you not do this alone? Do you anticipate that there may be additional charges related to this case? I'm not taking anything off the table, but what exactly does Mila Kunis know that could blow this case wide open? Ashton has been in the spotlight for years as the charming goofball, the funny guy who made. First off, many people are unaware that Ashton Kutcher and Diddy have a long history together. Shan has gone by many names over the years, starting in the 1990s in New York City as P. Diddy, then Puffy, and finally just Love. He founded Bad Boy Records in 1993, which later became Bad Boy Entertainment, one of the biggest names in the music industry, and he didn't just bring any old. At one point, Puffy had been profiting from Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting that he hadn't turned 25 yet, he was still 24 when he passed away. However, Combs wasn't just making headlines because of his music, oh no, he was everywhere, fashion TV shows, you name it, and this is where things get interesting. He brought the famous Big, also known as Christopher Wallace, with him. His name alone was bringing Bad Boy Entertainment millions of dollars annually. He was hanging out with another famous person, Ashton Kutcher. Yes, Diddy and Ashton were close, and their relationship was quite strange. We used to hang out and watch football together, and when he came over, I said, "I'm going for a run," and he said, "Oh, I'll go for a run with you." So how did these two connect? It all began with Punk. You remember that MTV prank show? Well, but Combs didn't stop there. He produced several seasons of Making the Band on MTV. When Time magazine named Ashton one of the 100 most influential people that year, Diddy gushed over him, saying, "Ashton Kutcher is a sounding board for me, like me, he's a fan of mine." During all of this, Ashton and Diddy were frequently seen together at events, parties, and so on. In 2010, Ashton was a regular at Diddy's famous Labor Day white party, you know, where everyone wears white and things probably get wild behind the scenes. Mogul, a new media mogul, but we're like yin and yang, I'm in your face and he's all cool, suave and cute. Fast forward to 2019, and Ashton is eating spicy wings while being grilled by Sean Evans. Of course, the subject of Diddy's infamous parties came up, and let's just say that Ashton had a lot of stories that he couldn't tell. Oh, okay, I have a lot I can't tell, so he can't sell out. Ashton Kutcher is most definitely not innocent. As you can see, last year Ashton and Mila were embroiled in controversy, and it was all because of some resurfaced clips like these. It seems that the Cutler faced backlash because they supported Danny Masterson, who has already faced legal repercussions due to allegations of say news. Danny Masterson was recently sentenced to 30 years to life in prison and made to register as A. In a stark white font on a dramatic black background, Christina expressed her feelings. "Unfortunately, I've known lots of awesome guys who were lovely to me who have been proven to be abusers privately. I've also had personal experience with these believed victims. It's not easy to come forward. It's not easy." A jury found the actor guilty on 2 counts of back and after the actress's vocal support for the accused. Christina, Rhode Island, led to a cascade of revelations about their own history. In a separate slide, she added, "There are times when people we have loved and admired may not have done these horrible things to us, and we only know who they were to us. That doesn't mean they didn't do the horrible things. To discredit the abused is a crime. People we know as awesome guys can be predators and abusers. It's difficult to accept, but we must be able to take this stance if we say support victims, women, children, men, boys." The note ended, but Christina Ricci didn't. Drop any names. Her social media post left little room for interpretation, and it appears to be directed at the famous couple currently involved in a flurry of controversy. For background, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis have been under fire for their unwavering support of Masterson. In letters dated July and August of last year, they urged Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Charlene Omo to grant Masterson leniency after he was found guilty in May of the same year. In his letter to The Hollywood Reporter, for example, Kutcher described his co-star as a role model with exceptional character and explained that Masterson was the reason he didn't turn to drugs. He made it clear that if we ever met or interacted with someone who used drugs or was under the influence, that person wouldn't be a good friend. In her letter, M-Star wrote that Masterson had been an amazing older brother figure to her, and she also praised his abstinence from drugs. The Friends with Benefits actress added that the married couple chose to address the brewing storm with a joint video apology that went viral on the internet on a seductive Saturday afternoon. In their confession, they revealed how the Masters family had mistreated her. Danny's unwavering commitment to advocating for a drug-free lifestyle has been a guiding light in my journey through the entertainment industry and has helped me prioritize my well-being and focus on making responsible choices. Asked them to vouch for their 25-year acquaintance, saying that several months ago, Danny's family contacted us and asked us to write character letters to represent the person we had known for 25 years, so that the judge could fully consider that. Kutcher went on to say that the letters were meant for the judge to read, and were not meant to discredit the victim's testimony or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that, and we're sorry if that has happened. A second person described the apology as more like sorry public, saying, "We did not know that our letter would be read publicly, but we still want to support our horrible friend in court." Fans pointed out the irony, but it's important to remember that the lawyered apology journalist Yashar Ali wrote on the site wasn't just character letters you'd write for a friend. The letters, which contained a lot of Scientology phrasing, were meant to undermine the victims who were drugged by Danny. A fan commented, "I hope no one forgot Ashton Kutcher is a co-founder of Thorn Kutcher's Defense while running a charity that fights children. We support victims. We have done this historically to our work and will continue to do so in the future. Thorn partners with tech companies and law enforcement to fight illegal human trading among young people in the digital age." It's interesting that a man who claims to advocate for, say, also defended a man who is accused of such a thing. In the meantime, following all of the criticism, Christina reappeared on Sunday on Instagram stories to clarify that she wasn't specifically referring to the Sears, but she did acknowledge that recent events had caused her to reflect more on this. She started the post by saying, "What I wrote wasn't meant to seem so pointed. 6 million followers, but it's just something I've been thinking about overall, because over the past few years, various people's wrongdoings have come to light, and I've also found it hard to reconcile the person or people I knew with the things they did. Nevertheless, recent events have forced me to consider this more." In any case, some fans are surprised by Christina's choice of words when she called the act of people discrediting victims, in this case, Ashton and Mila, a crime, and some fans think there may be more to this story, and that Christina might be implying that these two celebrities should also be held criminals for supporting Masterson. One fan even commented on this, saying that she was correct about this, that they are extremely wrong for what they did, and that their apology is insufficient. They should also be punished. However, this is where things start to get interesting, as fans have apparently learned that Ashton isn't exactly as innocent as he would like us to believe. One of Danny Masterson's accusers is taking Ashton Kutcher to the Chrissy Bixler, who dated Danny in the past but has since come forward as one of several women to claim he dated her, took to Instagram this weekend to criticize Ashton in response to letters that Chrissy posted on Instagram. "Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that would end Did you forget I was there? You were on speakerphone that night? You called Danny on February 21st, 2001? I hear everything I heard, she wrote. Woodshed supported his old friend in court by resurfacing old footage that hasn't aged. The date Chrissy is referring to, she said, is the night Ashton's ex-girlfriend Ashley Ellerin was unived in her Hollywood Hills apartment. Ashton had called her multiple times that evening and ended up going to her house, where he later testified that he saw a liquid on the floor through the window that he initially believed to be red wine, but that turned out to be blood. Assuming she wasn't home, Kutcher left Ashley's apartment. Michael Garulu, who was eventually found guilty of Chris's crimes. She also wrote to Mila, I pray you start processing what you experienced as a child on that set. Your old interviews are very telling. In addition, Chrissy shared a number of old clips showcasing Ashton and his wife, Mila Kunis, interacting together, as well as a particularly disgusting one featuring Mila and Danny. One of the clips is from when Hilary Duff made an appearance on Kutcher's show, Punk'd. And the strange part of this clip comes as Ashton introduced the child star, who was 15 at the time, and said, she's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18. In another clip, she shared Ashton and Mila discussing how they first met and kissed on set. These clips have sparked a furor online, with many fans calling for Ashton to be cancelled. We need more of these cancelled Ashton Kutcher videos, one fan commented, while another fan added, he and Danny were clearly creeping on these young girls. What's really intriguing here, though, is Mila Kunis's abrupt and suspicious silence regarding the entire Diddy situation. For weeks, there have been rumors of a breakup between her and Ashton. According to sources close to the couple, Mila is becoming uneasy about Ashton's relationship with Diddy, especially since the FBI is now allegedly looking into all of Diddy's associates. It sounds like a gossip podcast discussing Ashton and Mila's breakup rumors. Could Mila be working with authorities behind the scenes? For years, Mila Kunis has been in a relationship with Ashton Kutcher, sharing not only a personal bond but also potentially being privy to aspects of his private and professional world. With this close connection to Ashley, it's not surprising that she appears to be distancing herself from him now. Whispers and rumors have been circulating that Mila might have even taken a significant step further by engaging with federal investigators, sharing critical information that could implicate Ashton in some very serious matters. The rumors suggest that Mila's cooperation could play a key role in revealing Ashton's alleged ties to Sean Diddy Combs' criminal circle. If this is true, then Ashton could be on the verge of facing a major scandal that might dismantle his public image and career. The possibility of Mila Kunis speaking to authorities adds a layer of intrigue to an already intense situation. Her willingness to potentially expose Ashton could suggest a deep level of discontent or even betrayal, which might come from discovering the true nature of his connections. Mila's actions seem calculated, possibly motivated by self-preservation, or a desire to distance herself from any fallout that might occur if Ashton is indeed involved in Diddy's criminal activities. If the rumors prove accurate, it could mean that Ashton's carefully crafted persona as a philanthropist and tech investor might crumble under the weight of these accusations. The stakes for Ashton have never been higher, and Mila's alleged cooperation with law enforcement could be the nail in the coffin that changes the trajectory of his life forever. Meanwhile, Diddy himself has been at the center of a media storm for weeks, with his situation growing increasingly dire. Reports from inside the prison where he's being held suggest that Diddy is refusing to eat, allegedly out of fear that his food may be tampered with. Some sources claim that he believes there is an active effort to poison him while he's behind bars, with the ultimate aim of silencing him before he can expose the truth about his criminal connections. The idea that Diddy could be forcefully made to appear as though he committed suicide rather than face a public trial is gaining traction, with many wondering just how deep the conspiracy against him goes. The intensity of Diddy's paranoia seems to be mounting, especially with the possibility that his testimony could shine a light on some of the most powerful and influential figures in the entertainment and political world. His anxiety is reportedly at an all-time high, and it's not just because of the prison environment. It's the thought of what might happen if he starts talking that keeps him on edge. If Diddy's claims are true, his testimony could be explosive, revealing hidden alliances, illegal dealings, and the lengths to which some individuals might go to keep their secrets buried. The idea that he might be a target, not just by the legal system but by those with vested interests in silencing him, has cast a shadow over his entire ordeal. Larry Levine, a former inmate with a keen understanding of the prison system, has further fueled the rumors about Diddy's food refusal. Levine speculates that Diddy might be entirely justified in his fear of being poisoned, as his knowledge could potentially implicate people with considerable wealth and influence individuals who might stop at nothing to keep Diddy from testifying against them. According to Levine, the stakes are incredibly high, with millions of dollars and powerful reputations on the line. His comments have added credibility to the theory that Diddy is not just paranoid but genuinely at risk of being silenced for good. What makes Diddy's predicament even more unsettling is the fact that his paranoia is not without precedent. There have been numerous cases in the past where high-profile prisoners with damaging information have met with suspicious fates. In Diddy's case, the fear of being labeled as unstable or suicidal while under incarceration is a tactic that some believe could be used against him to discredit his allegations and any potential testimony he might offer. If Diddy's fears come true, it would not only endanger his life but also cast a long shadow over the credibility of the justice system and its ability to protect witnesses who dare to come forward with the truth. As the situation unfolds, all eyes are on Mila Kunis and her potential role in this unfolding drama. If she indeed holds information that could unravel Ashton Kutcher's ties to Diddy's criminal circle, her actions could mark a pivotal moment in exposing a network of corruption that stretches far beyond what the public currently knows. This tangled web of personal relationships, criminal connections, and looming threats has already shaken the foundations of Hollywood, and the consequences of these revelations could resonate for years to come. In this high-stakes game, the players involved may find that their past choices have left them with nowhere to hide, and the truth, once it begins to emerge, could be more destructive than anyone ever imagined. Justin Bieber, Kevin Hart, Mark Wahlberg, Mark W, Snoop DJ, called DJ. For some, Diddy's fear can be dismissed as paranoid, but for others, this is just the start of. The timing of Diddy's test is what's causing suspicion in a much larger story. Word on the street is that his testimony could rock the entertainment industry's foundations. His fans fear he won't live long enough to tell his story, a fear that has been heightened by the suspicious deaths of other well-known people who were scheduled to testify before Diddy. To make matters worse for him, the judge recently denied his bail request, which comes after Diddy attempted to offer an astounding $50 million as bail. In addition to using his and his mother's multi-million-dollar Miami mansions as collateral, he also offered his passport and the passports of his children, including his 1-year-old child, who is barely old enough to walk, but the judge refused, saying that Diddy is staying put and not leaving anytime soon. The amount of money Diddy tried to buy his way out is even more amazing. To put it in perspective, the average bail for a serious crime in California is around $2 million, for which you normally only need to come up with 10%, or $200,000, which you can pay by putting up your house or assets as collateral. However, he offered him a much larger $18 million mansion, and the judge refused to even blink, which only serves to highlight how serious Cass is. I've said this before, but I'll say it again for good reason. How you got it matters more than how much money you have, or how glamorous your life seems. If you do shady things to get to where you are, eventually, you'll have to face the consequences of your actions. It may take some time, but in Diddy's case, it appears that jail time is the return on his investment. So what specifically did Diddy do that got him into this trouble? The indictment stated that Diddy was released immediately following his arrest. The charges against him go all the way back to 2008. He managed to avoid detection for more than 10 years because he had a number of powerful people working with him. In addition, he had a number of hotels nationwide under his control and a network of people who made sure his victims remained silent in some cases. If they hadn't, he might have even ended up carrying or brandishing firearms to threaten and intimidate them. It turns out that Diddy was operating a full-fledged criminal enterprise that involved more than just throwing wild parties. It was also involved in forced labor, transporting people across state lines for petition capping, arson, bribery, and even obstructing justice. According to reports, Diddy used force threats and manipulation to persuade women to attend these bizarre parties, which were attended by victims and witnesses. Combs has been charged with conspiracy involving RICO,